Cuckoo. Hi everybody and welcome back to Cheza Cheza. So in this video, what we want to do is implement the HUD. HUD simply means heads up display, and the heads up display is what is usually in charge of displaying important information to the player. Information such as the score, such as the amount of lives left. If you played a racing game, the HUD will display the speed that the vehicle is traveling at. Sometimes even there is usually like a mini map over there, but ours will not be as complicated. All you want to display at this point is the amount of lives the player has left and the score during the level. So the first thing that we want to do is go into scene and create a new scene. So we're going to say new scene, and in this new scene we want to add a margin container like that, and then this one we'll just rename it to HUD. From there, we want to go into layout over here, and we want to set the layout to top wide. After setting the layout, we want to go into the inspector and click on margin. And in margin, we want to set the following values. So for left, we have 50. For top, we can have 20. For right, we can have minus 50. For bottom again, we want to have 20. From there, what we want to do is add a child node, and the child node will be hbox container, and then as a child of hbox container we can have label, and another child of hbox container we can have a hbox container again. So for this label we're going to call it score, and the second hbox container we're going to call it lives. Next we want to select the score, and here where it says text we're just going to have one like that, and then we're going to go here into size flags. For horizontal, fill is already ticked. We also want to have expand ticked as well. The next thing that we want to do is inside our directory here we want to go into assets, and here we can create a new folder, and we're going to call this folder fonts. And then inside fonts what we want to do is in the assets that you downloaded from chezacheza.co.ke, there's a font file there called cavonregular.otf. So what you want to do is drag that file into this folder here for fonts. This font is now part of our directory here. The next thing that you want to do is go into theme overrides, and then where it says fonts, click on the arrow, and then where it says empty, you want to set a new dynamic font. Nice. And then click on new dynamic font such that a new menu now appears. Then also now again inside this new menu there is another area for font here, and as it says here font data is empty. You want to drag our font file into this font data property right here. Again here, if you just want to explore a bit, you can have a look at other options like for font color, font outline, and all that. We can maybe give our font a black outline, and our font color we can have it as white. Then the font size, I think we may need to experiment a bit with this. We can try and have maybe one that's 50, I think, and you can see immediately here it becomes visible. And then our outline, we can have it as 2 pixels. But we feel free to go ahead and experiment with some of these values here. And again, we even have more settings here under constants, and so on and so forth. And in colors here, you can also set font color. We've already set the font outline. I think we've set again to black. Font color shadow, again, if you want your font to have a shadow, all these things. But for me, I think I'm just fine having a font color and a font outline. Next, we want to go into lives, and under lives, we want to add a child node. The child node is going to be a texture rectangle, texture rect, like this. Then we want to name this life 1. And then now in our directory here, we want to go into Amani, and the image smile.png, we want to drag this into the texture property right here, and we're going to set the stretch mode here to keep aspect centered. So after that, what you want to do is press Ctrl D such that you duplicate it. Remember we said we want to have 5 lives, so duplicate it 5 times such that there's 5 icons like that. And with that, I think our HUD is looking good. So next, what we want to do is attach a script to our scene here. And oh, sorry, make sure that when you're attaching the script, you're attaching the script to the main node in the scene. I nearly attached a script to live 5 over here. So HUD selected and then attach script, and remember to save the script in our scripts folder. Good, like that. And then what we want to do is get rid of all this code here, and then at the top here we're going to have a variable already, variable life counter, life underscore counter, and then we're going to say equals the square brackets, and then we're going to target our node for hbox container here. So $ hbox container slash lives slash life1, again select slash life2, $hbox container slash life3, $hbox. Oh, I think we're missing, and I just missed a comma here. Hbox container life4, and finally life5. Perfect. Next we want to create a new function here that's going to be called when Amani gets hurt. So we're going to call it on Amani life changed, and we're going to have a value here, and we want to write for smile. We're just going to create a smile variable because the image itself is called smile.png. So for smile in range, and then we want to reference our variable here, which just contains an array of lives here. Life counter dot size, so life counter square brackets smile, and then we say dot visible is equals to value greater than smile. All right, and then this function now is going to make sure that every time Amani gets hurt, one life is taken away. Then below that, we want to have another function now for changing the score. So function on score changed, and again we're going to pass a value here, and we want to reference hbox container. So $hbox container dot score, slash score dot text is equals to, and we're going to change that value into a string. And I think now with this script, we are now ready to have our HUD in the level. And remember, we want to go into level, not level 01. And on that, I think I just need to change the name of our node here to base level to avoid confusion. I know it's a bit late in the day, but still, just to avoid confusion, I think it's better to have this as base level. So what we want to do here is we want to have a child node of base level called canvas layer, and now as a child of canvas layer, have canvas layer selected, and then now we want to instance HUD as a child of canvas layer. Then next thing we want to do is just save this in, and now we should have canvas layer and HUD in our level here. Here they are. Let's just scroll up, and as you can see, here is our HUD right here. So what we want to do is go back to our base level. So with Amani selected, we want to go into node here, and we want to connect the life changed signal here to our method here in HUD for on Amani life changed. Go back to level, so right click, say connect, and then go to HUD, and in HUD we want to have on Amani capital L capital C on Amani life changed, and it doesn't have say connect. Good. And now our signal is connected to this function right here. So next we want to go back to level to the base level here, and then we want to connect score changed, and then score changed, now we want to connect it to our HUD, and in HUD we want to change the method to be on score changed, like that, and we click connect, and perfect. We can see that now we've connected both our signals to HUD. So the next thing that we want to do is probably test out our HUD and see that it's functioning. So whenever Amani picks up shells, we should see the score increase, and whenever Amani gets hurt, we should see the lives or the smiles reduce. So here I'm in the level. Just wanna first of all make sure that when I get on the spikes, like lives are going to reduce. Yes, you can see one life is gone, second life is gone. So our counter for the lives is working well. Now there you can see like our score is also incrementing. Perfect. One thing that you'll notice, if I happen to just stand here and wait for the monster to bump into me, like the monster doesn't do any damage to Amani. So now we're in the script for the monster, and here I think the issue is we said that if collision.collider.name is player, remember that our scene for Amani is called Amani. So all we need to change is that line of code and save. So I'm back in the level here. Just want to test out the collision now between Amani and the monster and see if the lives are going to reduce. There we go. One time you can even see the HUD function being called and she's jumping up a bit because she's hurt. All right, so now we verified that all the things are working properly. Our HUD is working. There is the score. Here the lives. And upon the last life, like Amani should disappear from the scene. All right, perfect. So that's about it for this video. Don't forget to like the video. Also, if you'd like to see more content coming up, please subscribe. And lastly, if you have friends that you think would enjoy learning about game development, please share this video with them. I'd be really appreciative if this tutorial got to as many aspiring developers as possible. Thank you, and see you in the next one.